Hello viewers. It takes many good deeds to build a good reputation, and only one bad one to lose it, said Benjamin Franklin. Guys, welcome to the new episode of Quality Videos. Humans have tendency to choose to be like an angel or be like devil. When humans choose to do evil, worst cases come in front of us. What worst can a human do? We will take a look to one such case today. Moving forward, we have to go to Nottingham. A boy was born to Harold Frederick Shipman and Vera on 14 January 1946. He shared his name with his father. His father used to work as a lorry driver. He was very close to his mother Vera. As far as religion is concerned, they were hardcore Methodist. Viewers, Methodists are those who believe in methodical way in which they carried out the Christian faith. When Harold was 17, his mother died of lung cancer. This had huge impact on such a naive mind. This had a connection of his future crimes, which we will later discuss. Before moving further, please like, share and subscribe our channel and hit the bell icon for more quality videos. So, viewers, his love for mother was really extreme. His mother instilled in him an early sense of superiority that tainted most of his later relationships. It left him with very few friends. When her mother was diagnosed with terminal lung cancer, he willingly took responsibility of taking care of her. She declined in front of him. He was really fascinated by the drug named morphine and its effect on his mother. Guys, here we tell you about morphine. Morphine is basically an opiate that is found naturally in opium. It is generally used as a painkiller. It is an analgesic medication. One has to use this with care, as overdosage can cause fatal harm. After his mother's death, he decided he wanted to join medical school for 2 years training. When he was 19, he got married to Primrose Oxtoby. They had 4 children. Harold graduated in 1970. Moving forward to his career, he started practicing at Post-Infarct General Infirmary, Yorkshire. After that, in 1974, he worked at the Abraham Ormerod Medical Center in Todmorden. Later that year, he was caught forging prescriptions of pethidine for his own use. He himself became addicted of painkiller pethidine. He got caught when he uses to prescribe large amounts of painkillers to his patients. He used to take majority amount from them and gives less portions to the patients. He even gave those patients medicines who did not need pethidine. He made them addicted to this medicine without their consent. He was mesmerized by the effects of analgesic medicine on human body. He observed his mother very closely. Eventually, Harold was forced to leave the practice and entered a drug rehab program. His habit came to light after it became obvious that some patients were being prescribed large amounts of the drug. Shipman was admitted to hospital. It was realized that the doctor, who had been injecting himself for 6 months, had a serious medical condition. At that time, jury asked him to see a psychiatrist and spend time for his treatment. When Shipman appeared before Halifax magistrate in February of 1976, he admitted 7 or more charges of obtaining a drug by deception and asking for 67 similar offenses. 7 of forgery to be taken in consideration. After the inquiry, he was charged £600 as a fine. According to Magistrate Dr. Morris Golden, Shipman was 30 then. According to him, Shipman did something unforgivable in such early age of his career. He knew that Harold's career will go nowhere in the end. When Shipman was questioned about his crime thoroughly, he told the detectives he had habit of taking 600 to 700 milligrams of pethidine a day. He also admitted at one point that with increase in his depression, he was increasing his dose. Only 2 things went in his favor. One was that he was not giving away medicines illegally to someone else, and second was that he did not cut off the dose of patients who needed. He gave the patients sufficient amounts. So guys, after that in 1977 he started working at Donnybrook Medical Center in Hyde. Although he had reputation of arrogance in junior staff, he made his colleagues and patients think that he was really a caring and hard-working doctor. Harold used to keep his character very sophisticated and clean in front of his patients. He knew he has to get really close to them to gain trust. He was so close to his patients that they treated them like family. He uses to attend very intimate functions of his patients. He uses to find out traumas and tragedies happen to his patients, and then gave them mind-relaxing drugs so coming back. He remained there as general practitioner throughout the 1980s. He started his own clinic at 21 Market Street in 1993. Because of this, he became a respected part of this community. People saw him as a good influence on community. People started trusting him. He used to give interviews on how to manage mentally ill people. He made exceptional relations with his patients. Guys, now comes one huge turn in his life. Everything changed after this. In 1998, Linda Reynolds, a general practitioner at the Brooks Surgery in Hyde, expressed her concerns to the governmental or judicial official who used to inquire about the death and cause of death. She told the coroner about the high death rate among Shipman's patients. Linda told the coroner that it was weird for a doctor to cremate all his patients. Police was unable to find sufficient evidence to press charges. So, on 17 April they closed the investigations. After the investigations closed, Harold killed 3 more people. Guys, after a few months, a taxi driver, John Shaw, suspected Shipman for something dreadful. He came to police and stated that majority of the patients who he dropped at Shipman's clinic were all healthy, but old. He stated that how can this be a more coincidence that all those were dead in some way, in care of Harold. Things got out of hand when his last patient, Kathleen Grundy, a former mayor of Hyde who was also found dead at her place on 24 June 1998. It was just like any other case he had. She died, and the last person she saw was Harold Shipman. He used to make death certificate of all his victims. He used to write reasoning of death, old age. But unfortunately, this time the daughter of Mayor, Angela Woodruff, had some doubts, so she asked for inquiry. Her concern started when she saw her mother's will. Apparently by her mother, the will said to exclude Woodruff and her children, but left £386,000 to Shipman. She doubted something not right. She asked the police to exhume the body of her mother and do an autopsy. Guys, moving further, when her mother's body was exhumed, reported showed sign of heroin in her blood. Heroin was used often by terminally ill patients for pain management. Harold was not an easy fish to catch. Shipman claimed that Grundy had been an addict and showed them the comments he wrote when she first met him. Her first appointment was computerized in his medical journal. Fortunate for police, they found out that the file had been edited after Grundy's death. Finally, Shipman days were close. He was arrested on 7 September 1998. One more evidence was also found: a typewriter. The typewriter that was used to forge the will. The typewriter had some letters broken. The will had the same typo mistakes. Guys, many people said he did this will drama to get caught as he was tired of his life. Some people also say that he wanted to go out of UK and settle there, that is why he wanted some money. After Shipman's arrest, other victims' families also came in front and discussed the sudden deaths of their loved ones under Harold's care. All these victims' cases were opened. It got clear that his patients used to die because of the overdosage of diamorphine. He used to make death certificate and send it himself. He used to write old age reasons of death. The second practitioner had to sign was generally his friends that never thought it was abnormal. He had such a great aura that nobody could ever imagined. His hideous acts. Police saw these patterns of his administering lethal doses of diamorphine, signing patients' death certificate, and then falsifying medical records. One more suspicion was discovered when the time of deaths of his patients were notified. The large number of the deaths occurred around the same time of day or in the presence of Dr. Guys. Now 5 October 1999, his trial started. He was charged with the murders of 15 women. The jury found Shipman guilty of 15 murders and sentenced Shipman to life of imprisonment and 15-time death sentence. Shipman denied his guilt. His wife maintained that he was not guilty, even after his conviction. Shipman was the only doctor in the history of British medicine found guilty of murdering his patients. Chris Gregg, a senior West Yorkshire police detective, was selected to lead an investigation into further detail. He concluded that he had killed at least 218 of his patients between 1975 and 1998. Janet Smith, the judge who submitted the report, admitted that she believed that Shipman had murdered more than 459 people. Viewers Shipman hanged himself in his cell at M Prison, Wakefield on 13 Jan 2004. The post-mortem examination took place in Sheffield. Guy's people relate his menace as the effect of trauma which he had when he lost his mother. His mother died in a way which was painful to see. He wanted every other soul to encounter the same feeling from which his mother gone through. People had another relative theory that he felt pity for old age people. He used to feel depressed about the old age traumas and conditions, and to help them or to release their pain forever he uses to give them overdoses which finally led them to death. Friends, this was the story, a vicious doctor that created a horrible tale of trust and forgery. People go through these traumas and choose to give others the same pain. We all consider doctors as our last hope after our God, but in this case the helper was not less than a monster. When noble professionals like doctors, teachers, soldiers break trust of people, it spills out malign marks for centuries. One should be fair in life, as it will give you fruit one day. Please like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to press the bell icon. Share feedback. Until the next video.